So I want to talk a little bit about, following on from some of the stuff that you guys shared, a teaching from, well, the yoga texts, but really it's in lots of spiritual texts, and a core teaching, which, I was thinking about Awaken, and I was like, what's Awaken? What do I want to share? And how would I share it, and what is it? And this is one of the ways to actually go in and look at it, like a perspective. So in the yoga scriptures, in the yoga sutras, there's a sutra that says yogas citta vritti nirodhah in Sanskrit. And it just means to cease, the cessations of the fluctuations of the mind. And when I first read that translation, I was like, what the hell does that mean? And then when I started to work on transformation and start to understand, the story, as I call it, and the workings of the mind, then it really started to make sense. And in that teaching, in the sutra, which is like a thread as in, knowledge compacted in. Anyone read the sutras or know about it or know about this? Mm-hmm. Cool. The cessation, to cease means what? To stop, to cease. The cessation of the fluctuations, as in this like up and down, like a yo-yo or like a roller coaster. I don't know about you, but my mind's sometimes like that. Who has that experience? If you have a mind, you probably have that experience, right? It goes up and down. It's kind of like a yo-yo or like a roller coaster sometimes. To cease those fluctuations. And actually, sometimes we might think, oh, that means maybe I need to stop thinking. That will fix it. I just need to stop thinking. So sometimes people go into meditation, they say, stop thinking, stop thinking, stop thinking, and how did that meditation go? Right, we measure the success of the meditation. I still haven't succeeded at meditation. Sometimes people come and tell me this. I still haven't succeeded at meditation yet. I said, well, how do you measure it? Well, I still have a lot of thoughts. I said, well, congratulations. You have a mind. And the job of the mind is to think. So the cessation is not to stop thinking, from what I've learned. It's to unattach or break free. So it's actually to come off the roller coaster and see how it's wired. So you go, down and around and back. Oh, start again. And the same patterns, like we were talking about yesterday, over and over again, maybe through the decades. The same shit shows up. It's kind of hard to say. Same stuff shows up. Different people, same relationship. Change everything. But then, you're there. Do you ever notice? Wherever you go, there you are. You show up in your life. So no matter if you change everything around you, the same stuff shows up. How many of you relate to this? Right? The same stuff shows up. So it's actually stepping off the roller coaster and not stopping the thinking. It's disidentifying or unidentifying. The problem is not that we have thoughts. The problem is that we think we are our thoughts. And herein is the core teaching. So it's just another way of saying what is awaken. Awaken is to wake up to the fact that you're not your thoughts. I'm just suggesting, I'm not saying that's the truth, you can consider it for yourself. What if you are not your thoughts? What if you are not your thoughts? Let me say it in a different way. So, how many of you maybe even just in the meditation that we did before, you were aware that you were having thoughts. You were aware there's thoughts happening. Thinking was happening, there's thoughts happening, you're aware of them. So, if you can observe the thought, that you are aware that thought is there and it's happening, surely you are not the thought. Stay breathing, please. Some of you went, what do you mean? Stay breathing. There's a part of you that might not want to hear this, but there's a part of you that brought you here. As I said yesterday, you're not here by accident, I don't believe. Just stay with it. The problem is not that you're having thoughts or that you're thinking. The problem is that we think we are our thoughts. Therein lies the root of our suffering. We think we are our thoughts. In other words, we identify with the thought. Identify means what? Hello? Pardon? Attach, own it, label, define, Identify means it's the identity. It's my identity. That means I am the thought. That thought is me. I am the thought. Now we're really powerful as human beings. We have the ability of, when we focus on something enough, and take some steps, we can make it real. How many of you noticed this in your life? If you focus on something, take a few steps, it becomes real. So you have a thought, and a thought is what? What's the thought? Yeah. No, your mind's probably just making some suggestions. It's going, well, based on this information, in this situation, in this environment right now, here's what I think. Or here's the problem, here's the solution. Because it's a problem-solving tool. It's a supercomputer that solves problems. Its job is to solve problems. The problem is when we identify with it, well, that becomes a problem. So let's say a thought as simple as, we were joking around a little bit before with you, and we say, 4-year-old. And the 4-year-old that he or she believes that says, I'm not loved. Let's choose that thought. Let's say based on the environment at that point in time, that 4, 5, 6-year-old went, well, it looks like in this situation right now, based on the proof that I have, it must be that I'm not loved. I think that's the answer. Because look here, here's what happened. He did that, or he or she didn't do that enough. They said that, or they didn't say that enough. This situation, this thing happened, or didn't happen enough. It must mean, it seems like there's a problem here. Something doesn't feel right. It must mean, right? The meaning-making machine, it's a story-making machine. It must mean I'm not loved. It's got to be that. Now, it's just making a suggestion. But when you focus on something enough, if you believe it, it becomes true. Yeah, it becomes real. And maybe at that point in time, that was the best that you can muster up. So we go, let me see. Let me see if this is true. I hope you enjoyed that. Remember to leave me a comment below or any questions you may have about the topic covered. And if you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe and the bell icon so you'll be the first to know when I upload my next video. Also, if you know someone who may benefit from this video, please hit share
and share it with them. See you in my next video.